People like to say, people who don't like Bernie Sanders, corporatists and warmongers, and people who support corporatists and warmongers, what those people like to say is that Bernie Sanders wasn't even a Democrat. He's not even a Democrat. That's what they like to say, as if that matters. And, you want to know who was a Democrat? Remember this guy? This guy was the vice presidential nominee in 2000 under Al Gore. This guy. Do you see that headline? Joe Lieberman slated to introduce Trump's pick for education secretary. Everybody is saying she's the worst, most unqualified, uneducated person to take that job in history. Not a teacher, never spent a day in a public school. Her kids don't go to public school. She knows nothing about it. She wants to smash public schools, education. And look at the jagoff who's helping. That guy was the fucking vice presidential nominee for Al Gore, another corporatist. Hey, we just keep moving right, we'll win. They lost. This guy lost to George Bush. And then those same corporate pigs went and lost to Donnie Tiny Hands. Joe Lieberman. You know who was the second choice? He was their second choice. Their first choice was Cory Booker to introduce her. It's appropriate that Lieberman is introducing the Secretary of Education because Lieberman left Congress to become a lobbyist, giving everyone an education on what corruption looks like. And get this. Another article, Lieberman introducing DeVos fails to disclose that his law firm represents Trump.
Oops.
Not a oops. He doesn't give a shit. None of those guys care. Joe, look at him. Joe Lieberman doesn't care. Look at him right behind. This is that guy. That guy Al Gore picked. That's Bill Clinton's vice president picked. That guy is a vice president. That's how craven and empty and soulless and lost the Democrats are. Former Senator Joe Lieberman, Democrat from Connecticut. Oh, he is a Democrat, though. So that's better. He's better than Bernie. So he's better than Bernie because it says D in front of his name. See, it says it right there. That's a D. Former Senator Joe Lieberman, Democrat, Connecticut, tonight introduced Donald Trump's controversial nominee for Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, to the Senate Help Committee. Lieberman lavishly praised DeVos, but failed to inform the American people that his law firm, Kasowitz, Benson, Torres, and Friedman, have represented Trump in all manner of matters since at least 2001. Such matters have included, but are certainly not limited to, the restructuring of $1.3 billion in bondholder debt connected to his Atlantic City casinos, a defamation case filed against the author of Trump Nation. This is Joe Lieberman's representing Trump in going after people who wrote books about him, and because guess what? This is great. That's why I mentioned this. They represented Trump in a defamation case filed against the author of Trump Nation, The Art of Being the Donald, for stating that the businessman was worth between $150 and $250 million and not billions. Turns out Trump lost that suit. And the fight to keep filings from his 1990 divorce from ex-wife Trump sealed. So that's what Joe Lieberman's been doing since he left. Since he lost to George Bush. Since he was the Democratic vice presidential nominee, he's been representing Donald Trump. His law firm's been representing Donald Trump. Most recently, Lieberman's law firm represented Trump by threatening the New York Times for publishing pieces of Trump's tax return. That's a good Democrat. That was the corporate Democrats' vice presidential choice. I wonder why they lost to Trump. I wonder why they lost to George Bush twice. Lieberman's law firm represents Donald Trump because when you are Donald Trump, you're going to need a good lawyer. It's funny, I guess all the anti-Semitism that Trump was throwing around didn't bother Joe Lieberman at all. I guess he's cool with anti-Semite. What a craven, empty piece of shit Joe Lieberman is, and always was. And it was transparently full of shit. Transparently a snake oil salesman, a slime. That's Joe Lieberman. Hey, Clinton, Al Gore, why don't you pick him to be your vice president? In 2012, asked about his future work upon his retirement from the Senate, Lieberman promised, I'm not going to lobby for sure. Oh, except in 2013, he registered as a lobbyist representing a Libyan politician. That's the kind of Democrats we got to get rid of. That's what's wrong with the party. That's why we lost to George Bush twice and now to Donnie Tynahan's. Because you have to be the opposition party, you have to oppose shit. He doesn't oppose anything. He's all for right-wing blowing up education. There you go, Joe Lieberman, huh? So there's another reminder of how shitty the Democrats have become and how shitty the Clintons made them. It didn't happen accidentally. It was a conscious choice by the Clintons to turn their back on workers, the poor, their natural base, and get in bed with corporations, Big Pharma, and Wall Street. And then they get pieces of crap like Joe Lieberman. Ugh. Democrats got to clean house or they're going to lose again. Even though they're being handed a gift of the most unpopular politician in the world. Let's see how they can screw it up. Hey, we're doing another live Jimmy Dore show January 30th. That's a Monday night, 8 p.m. in Burbank, California. There's a link for tickets right underneath here. Click on the link. We'll see you January 30th for the next live Jimmy Dore show.